What if I told you the US dollar is about to change in a way that 100% of Americans will feel, but 99% are not ready for it? And the craziest part, no one voted for this change. For months, the US government has been preparing for the biggest monetary shift since 1971, quietly, silently, without public debate. And before you think this is some distant, boring policy, listen carefully. If you earn money, save money, or spend money, this affects you directly, because the new dollar is already being built behind the scenes. Across multiple US agencies, a pattern has started. Small on the surface, but massive when you connect the dots. We're seeing new digital payment frameworks, sudden changes to bank reporting rules, faster settlement systems, new liquidity windows for financial institutions, and even experimental digital tools for so-called emergency relief. Individually, they just seem like minor technical upgrades. But together, they form the first phase of a complete transformation of our financial system. This isn't random, and it isn't temporary. It's structural. It reminds me of the early days of the internet. Small, seemingly unconnected steps, until suddenly everything is connected and the world is never the same. So here's the big question. If the government is preparing so quietly, why isn't the public being told loudly? Why the secrecy? This isn't just about updating old systems. This is about control, speed, and positioning for what comes next. And that brings us to the second, even more surprising piece of the puzzle. Something big happened in 2025. The US government shifted its posture. It began treating Bitcoin not like some fringe tech experiment, but like a strategic reserve asset. Think about that. This is the same way it treated gold back in 1933 and foreign currencies after 1971. It's a classic playbook for a monetary reset. America already controls over 200,000 seized Bitcoin, making the US one of the largest holders on the entire planet. And multiple policy proposals are now floating around Washington, suggesting the government should accumulate even more. But here's the key. This isn't for investment, and it isn't for speculation. It's being positioned as a geopolitical tool for the next monetary system, a backstop, a neutral settlement layer. And here's what most top-level analysts agree on. This has nothing to do with Bitcoin's day-to-day price. It's about long-term strategy. It's about having a seat at the table when the new rules are written. So if this isn't about the price, and it's not about making a quick buck, then what exactly is the US planning for? What does it see coming that the rest of us don't? The answer is that the US isn't acting alone. The entire world is shifting, and it's shifting faster than anyone predicted. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and their new allies, are actively building payment systems designed to completely bypass the dollar. For the first time, major oil deals are happening outside of US banking rails. Central banks around the globe are buying physical gold at the highest rate since the 1950s, desperately trying to diversify away from their dollar holdings. Think about what that means. For the first time in 80 years, major global powers are openly planning for a world where the dollar is no longer at the center of global trade. The foundation of our economic power is being challenged from all sides. The post-World War II financial order is cracking. So when you put all three pieces together, the picture becomes alarmingly clear. 1, the government is quietly building a new digital dollar infrastructure. 2, it's simultaneously stockpiling a neutral digital reserve asset in Bitcoin. 3, the rest of the world is actively de-dollarizing and building alternatives. This isn't a conspiracy theory. These are documented facts happening in plain sight. The government isn't just reacting. It's preparing for a future where the dollar's dominance is no longer guaranteed. It's building a two-tiered system, a new, highly controlled digital dollar for domestic use, and a strategic position in a neutral asset like Bitcoin for international settlement in a multipolar world. This is the biggest change to your money in your lifetime, and it's happening right now. What if I told you the US dollar isn't collapsing, but is actually getting a massive secret upgrade? And what if this upgrade is already changing your life in ways you haven't even noticed yet? Stick with me, because what I'm about to share is the biggest financial story of our lifetime, and almost no one is talking about it. For decades, the world has run on one system, the US dollar. It's been the king, but the world is changing. We're seeing new economic powers rise, and the idea of a single unipolar world is fading. So what does the US do to stay on top? It doesn't fight the change, it adapts. And that adaptation is something truly revolutionary. Picture this. The world splits into two major financial blocks. One side uses one system, the other side uses another. To maintain its influence, the United States can't just rely on the old dollar system. It needs something new, something faster, something smarter. This is where the idea of a two-tiered dollar system comes into play. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a strategic move being discussed by serious financial analysts. The first tier is the dollar you and I use every day, but it's about to get a major facelift. Imagine a domestic dollar that's fast, programmable, and entirely digital. Think instant transactions, smart contracts, and seamless payments. This is the future of money within our own borders. The second tier is a completely separate international dollar. This isn't the cash in your wallet. It's a settlement asset, likely backed by reserves like gold or other commodities, designed specifically for global trade between nations. Its job is to keep the U.S. at the center of international finance, even if other countries create their own systems. So let's be clear. This isn't about the dollar collapsing. It's a strategic redesign. It's how America plans to remain number one in a world that's no longer playing by the old rules. This is a pivot, not a panic. But here's the critical part for you and me. What happens when the global rules of money are rewritten and the American public isn't even told that a new game has begun? The truth is, the change won't be announced with a big press conference. It's not going to be a single event. It will happen quietly, slowly, and you'll feel it in your everyday life first. Have you noticed some strange things happening with your money lately? Maybe some things seem a little cheaper, like a new TV, but your weekly grocery bill just keeps climbing. Your $100 bill still says 100, but it feels like it buys less and less. This isn't your imagination. It's part of a deliberate strategy. Inflate down, control up. Let's break that down. Inflate down means the purchasing power of your money slowly erodes. Your savings lose value over time, pushing you to spend or invest rather than save. It's a subtle tax on holding cash. At the same time, control up means there's more visibility and regulation over your financial activities. Payments are becoming digital first. Think about it. How often do you use cash anymore? Tapping your card or phone is just easier, right? But every digital transaction creates a data point. Every transfer is traceable. This trend is accelerating. Verification is becoming the new normal. Your bank asks more questions for simple transactions. Sending money to a friend is instant, but it's also logged and monitored in ways that cash never could be. Cash is becoming inconvenient, not by law, but by design. Each of these changes seems small on its own. A new verification step here, cashless discount there. But together, they represent a fundamental shift in your relationship with money. You're getting less power in your pocket, and there's more visibility over what you do with it. It's a slow, steady squeeze. And here sinks the twist that most people miss. This transformation is not starting in the high-stakes world of international finance or with a formal announcement from the Federal Reserve. It's starting with your daily habits. It starts when you choose your phone over your wallet, when you sign up for a new payment app, when you agree to new terms and conditions without reading them. So, what is really happening here? The United States is not trying to destroy the dollar. It's upgrading it for a new era. This is the next logical step in the evolution of money. We went from gold to paper money, then from paper to plastic cards, from cards to the digital payments on our phones, and now we are transitioning from simple digital money to programmable money. This next upgrade is all about three things: control, speed, and maintaining global influence. It's not about collapse. It's not about replacement. It's about transformation. And the people who fail to understand this distinction will be left behind. This is what almost everyone gets wrong. They're waiting for a dramatic crash, a day when the dollar suddenly becomes worthless. But that's not how this story ends. The dollar isn't going to explode. It's going to evolve into something far more complex. It will be a more controlled, more efficient, and more centralized system. And in any great transformation, there are winners and losers. The losers will be the ones who cling to the old system, who believe nothing is changing, who wake up one day and realize the financial world they knew is gone. The winners will be the people who see the shift happening early. The ones who understand that money isn't disappearing, it's just changing its form. They will adapt their strategies, protect their wealth, and position themselves to thrive in this new financial landscape, long before it becomes common knowledge. Think about the early days of the internet. The people who dismissed it as a fad missed out on the greatest wealth creation event in modern history. The ones who saw its potential and learned how it worked became the pioneers of a new world. We are at a similar moment right now with money. The most significant financial transformation in the last 50 years isn't coming. It's already underway. It's happening in your bank, on your phone, and in your wallet. Most people will only recognize it after the fact, when all the major moves have already been made, but not you. Because now you see the bigger picture. You know what's happening beneath the surface. You don't need to be scared. Fear comes from uncertainty. But you don't need to be uncertain anymore. You just need to be aware. The game is changing. The rules are being rewritten. But now you know what to look for. You know the strategy. Inflate down, control up. You know the goal? Not collapse, but transformation. And you know that the time to prepare is now, not when it's front page news. This is your head start. What you do with this information is up to you. But now you know what's coming. Thanks for watching. We're going to be tracking this transformation every step of the way, and you won't want to miss what's next. If you want the real financial truth no one reports, subscribe. Next video is coming in 48 hours.